So good evening, everybody. Again, thanks for everyone that can hop on live. I appreciate everyone's time. I know it's not always convenient for some people. It's late at night on the East Coast, and it's right at dinner time with, here on the West Coast. So I always appreciate when you guys take the time. And I wanted to start by, I wanted to talk about a 7-step inviting funnel system. And it's something that I took notes on and something that I've put into practice, and I really like it. I've always been wanting to know, like, the easy questions, like how often do you follow up with each person? How often do you get back to them about something? When I say hi to someone, how many days do I wait before I talk to them again? How soon after that do I invite them? When, everyone says, oh, when the time is right, invite. Well, what does that mean? How do I know when the time is right? Because you don't always talk about health and fitness. When you get to know someone, it's not really the first thing you bring up. A lot of times it requires an intimate knowledge of someone. That's why our close friends are the first people we invite, because we already know them and we know their struggles. So this inviting system I really like. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So, if you have a pen and paper, now would be the time to break it out. So step 1 is having a list, adding people to your list. And I know that we've heard that a million times, and how important a list is, and how, if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. And that is a huge, I really agree with that. And, having a list, and I've mentioned this before, having a list that of top 20 or 30 people that make a little bit sick to your stomach to possibly invite them to something, because you feel like, oh my gosh, this person would never be, interested in what I have to offer. This person would never, they already do health and stuff. They're like a personal trainer or a physical therapist. So why would they ever want to do this? And a lot of coaches are personal trainers, and they felt that they spend at minimum an hour with every single client of theirs, and that they were spending all day in a sweaty, disgusting gym, teaching, for example. So don't discriminate based on someone's background, their knowledge, what their job is now, because you never know how unhappy someone is. And that is something that I remember watching a video from Scotty Hobbs, and he said, on the outside, around his system, or around his neighborhood, he walked outside in his yard, and he showed people, and he showed all the houses, and he goes, okay, well, here's all my neighbors, and all they see me do is they see me leave in the morning, smile on my face, with all my kids, and I leave in the morning for work, and then I, come home, I leave it dark, I come home when it's dark. And if no one had said anything to him or brought up the opportunity to him, they would have just kept thinking he was happy and perfectly fine. But someone said something to him. Someone offered this to him. And that was such a great point to make. You never know until you get to know someone at least a little bit, what their story is, and, how they're really feeling about their life, their job. So, so then once you have a list, you're adding people to your social media, or you're getting new people from your like page. So, you're commenting, you're saying, hey, thanks for liking my page, or hey, thanks for liking my post. I really always appreciate the support, and don't expect people to come to you all the time. I mean, if you think about the fact that, Lindsay Matway, Lindsay Stay, Bonnie Engel, all of these coaches have, 30,000 followers on Facebook, and they're maxed out on their friends. And we all go, oh my gosh, they have 400 likes on a post about their dog, something that we're thinking, what the hell? Like, I added so much value on my post, and they posted a selfie of their dog. Like, they didn't add any value. They were just sharing a picture for that day. And all of a sudden they have, 500 likes. Well, consider the fact that they have 5,000 friends, and they have 30,000 followers, and they only had 400 likes. So consider that, and don't expect people to just come to you. You come to them, and talking to them increases your affinity on Facebook, and it gets conversations going. And, some of my challengers, have never liked any of my posts. They've never liked any of my public posts. It's because we've talked, one-on-one. that's what a bunch of my challengers are like that. They never comment or like on any of my stuff. Even my coaches don't necessarily like or comment on my stuff. So don't always expect them to come to you. So like and comment on 5 people's posts or Instagram pages every single day. Just like and comment. Don't always send everyone a private message right off the bat because they don't necessarily recognize your name. And then you want to, like 2 days later, these like 2-day increments, 2 days later, you like and comment with, and then you can send them a private message once you've gotten to know them a little bit. And when you like a couple of their pictures or posts or something, don't be super creepy and like go to like something from 2014 because that's weird and it, creeps people out. I had someone who recently added me on Facebook and we have a bunch of friends in common. I said, sure, why not? We had a conversation on someone else's profile. I was commenting on an opinion of something and he added me on Facebook. And all of a sudden I had 17 notifications on Facebook and I thought, oh, wonder what this could be. So-and-so liked this post. So-and-so liked this post. So I went through each picture and they were pictures from forever ago. He was totally stalking through my Facebook after I accepted his friend request. Then he found my like page and liked a bunch of my stuff from forever ago. And I was like, okay, like you seem harmless, more or less. Like it was a guy and you seem harmless more or less. And we have a ton of friends in common that I trust in Facebook and stuff. So I was like, okay, like that's fine. You're probably just getting to know me. But it still at first is super creepy. I can't see, blocked. Well, I don't mind. He hasn't said anything bad or anything. I don't care. I don't know. So it was fine. Like we have, he used to, ride horses at the same barn where I keep my horse and he doesn't live around here anymore, but it was weird. And that's my job is like social media. So out of all the people in the world, for me to be kind of like, oh, wow, what a weirdo is even more alarming, So like if you guys do that to somebody who's leery on social media, then it's going to come off very alarming. So like and comment first so they see your name, they see you offering support about something, and just start building that, getting to know them, friendly ideas if they ask about advice for something, and then messages like, hey, if it's someone that long time no talk, what's new? Like, how you doing when you send a private message, or I'm sorry for the loss of your dog, or I'm sorry about whatever, your trip that you got sick on your plane flight. Oh my gosh, I remember this one time. And I have great stories. I took this, horrible, this is a true story. I took this horrible diet pill Ally and one of the side effects was like anal seepage. And I didn't have anything for weeks. I was like, oh great. Like, this is great. And then all of a sudden I'm like on a plane flight to DC and I was like, oh, and it's a great, hilarious story to share with somebody. And it's like horrifying. And so she'd be like, ha ha ha, like, I'm a real person. I'm here. I'm not super creepy. Aside from the fact that I blew up a bathroom and, an airplane, it's just sharing, like, I'm a human being, sharing a funny story relating to something about them, exchanging some funny anecdote stories. And, baby announcements or births, something like that. Like, there's always something going on in people's lives. And honestly, if someone is not on social media, if you don't see them post or you see so-and-so, 8 months ago updated their profile picture and that's the last update they have, sure, you could add them on Facebook, but chances are they're not on very much. If you try to send them a private message or like any of their stuff, you won't get much in return. So it's kind of like, well, so I would put them on a separate list, like if they ever decide to get with the 21st century and jump onto Facebook more often or whatever, I don't really waste time trying to send private messages to people that don't, at least share videos or something on Facebook, regularly. It seems like a kind of a waste of time. So, so then send, be friendly, say hi, loved your post, whatever, maybe think of something, a funny story. And you're doing this every single day. And then every 2 days you follow back with those same people that from 2 days ago. So you like and comment on something that they posted, and then you send them a message again. So, don't overthink anything, just do it. I heard something, something that Bonnie Engel has said before is she said, don't overthink it. and don't be creepy, just be you. And that's all she said. She goes, she just said, don't be creepy, just be you. And like the way she said it was so simple and so easy. And I thought, okay, like I'm not creepy generally. I'm maybe creepy with some of my friends sometimes because it's funny, but like I'm generally not a creepy person. I'm also a nurse. That makes me trustworthy. We all work in like, a lot of us work in healthcare fields. A lot of us work in, so we're not creepy generally. We all passed background checks for our jobs. So like, that's a great start. So feel confident knowing that you passed a background check and you're not on Megan's Law, like you're naturally not creepy. So, in the words of Bonnie Engel, don't be creepy, just be you, and don't overthink it. So if you've been chatting, an example that was given is, so you want to connect with them, not Beachbody. Hold on. I always get ahead of myself. So you want to pull the conversation along, and, if they haven't responded, don't worry about it. You add, you go back to step number one. So if someone hasn't, responded to you, bring them back to the beginning of your funnel of, bringing people through, getting to know them, bring them back to step number one. And the same thing, if in your end game, someone says, oh no, thank you, or another time, bring them back to the very beginning. Like they're a fresh person. That doesn't mean you replace one of your 5 new people every day. You add them to, the funnel of people that you're just going to cycle through until they get a definite, yeah, like yes or no, like you are creepy and weird and leave me the hell alone, like until you reach that. So, bring them back to step number one and get back to them in a few days, continue to like or comment on their posts, offer encouragement, and just don't overthink it. So, you can say something like, when someone says, hey, if you want to continue the conversation, you guys have gone back and forth for, a couple weeks, a week or two or something, then, you can just say, hey, like while we're chatting today, you mentioned, wanting some recipes for like a barbecue. I had a conversation about someone who said, oh my gosh, like my pitfall is barbecue, is like, I love to barbecue, which honestly, barbecue is not unhealthy. I mean, the crap you put on it might be unhealthy, or the stuff that typically comes with it, like potatoes, corn, and you barbecue something, like that's like a typical, especially people that live in, like the East Coast or the South, they want like a barbecue, especially this summer, they want to barbecue something and then barbecue some corn and then with some potatoes, and that's a typical meal. And so, say, hey, like, I know you mentioned that you like to barbecue. I have, these really great, barbecue recipes that, are a great replacement for something unhealthy if you want to work on toning this summer, and I have a great group starting next month. Or I have a great group starting this month in a couple weeks. Would you want to jump in with us and let's make that barbecue stuff healthier? And do 30 minutes of a workout indoors, while you live on the East Coast and you don't want to get out of your car in sweat on your walk from your house to your car, then from your car to your gym. Now you don't have to leave anywhere. You can have your AC on and you never have to leave. You can do it naked, whatever you want, strap down the pups, please. So, something like that. And, you just say like, I'm chatting, with a few people. I have this upcoming group I'm leading, I figured you wouldn't mind if I asked. It's something that it made me think of you. You came to my mind. And people do come to my mind all the time about, I think this would really benefit them. So, would an online support group be something, that you'd be interested in ever? And something like that. And then it's like, oh yeah. Or no, like, I don't like support. So, or better health. So like, no, thanks. Like, what are they going to say? Yes or no, or not right now. And a lot of people do the not right now. You bring them through your funnel multiple times. How many times did did this damn Kirby guy come around? And I don't know if that happens in the East Coast, Pam, but the thing for many, many years was the Kirby vacuum. Okay. It's this heavy metal thing. It's so heavy. It's backbreaking. And they come routinely, like once a year. Hey, can I vacuum your house with your vacuum and then vacuum your house afterwards with my vacuum to see how much better my vacuum is? And they do it without fail every single year. So of course, so many people go, oh, I have the Kirby 1.0. Oh, and then I owned the 2.0, because every year they were consistent, and they always, the consistency, and someone introducing it every single time, or, they're introduced, I'm introduced to it because my neighbor ended up, she was sold on it when she did the vacuum, and she thought, holy crap, I need this. Oh, I saw it one more time. Oh, my sister bought it. She mentioned to me on the phone, oh, she bought it. I see another neighbor buy it. I see, you know what I mean? And, my kid, they bought it. So I was then introduced to it 5 different times because 5 different people that I know bought it. So then the next time they come around, I go, you know what? I'm in. In fact, you don't even have to vacuum. I'll buy it right now because I've already seen how it works in other areas. So, people see things multiple times. And, that's also why having friends on Facebook that, like, you have a bunch of mutual friends. So, if someone that you're a mutual friend with joins your challenge group, let's say becomes a coach, they start posting about their journey. They're all of a sudden becoming more positive. So the mutual friend that the 2 of you have, they start seeing their post. So they've been seeing mine for a while, following me, but I'm not really super close to them. I haven't really put them through my funnel enough times, or I haven't put them through yet because I've got a ton of friends on Facebook, haven't done it yet, right? They're not on the list yet. Okay. Then they start seeing someone that they're closer with. They notice that they're posting the same stuff, that I'm their mutual friend. Now there's that connection. Maybe they're going to join my new coaches challenge group because they've been watching me, not trusting me, and that will benefit you, your coaches, making Success Club, bringing in friends and family and cold market people. You know what I mean? So they've seen it multiple times. I guarantee you, a lot of people on social media already know about Beachbody coaches, and let's do this the right way and stop giving, like MLMs and Beachbody a bad name. Let's do it the right way. They've already seen it a few times. So let's be authentic and be us, and don't be salesy about it, because chances are they've already seen 5 or 6 salesy Beachbody people thinking that we're disgusting and, we are part of a pyramid scheme. So, bring them through it the right way. So if they haven't responded to other previous messages, for example, so, we're bringing people through, we bring them through the funnel a couple times. Let's say they reply to your posts on Facebook. Haha, thanks girl. Like, I love the advice. Thank you for the shoe advice. But they don't respond to private messages and stuff. You can say, hey, it's too bad. It looks like we haven't been able to connect. No worries. I get people are busy. I get super busy, and I feel you. And hey, with those 3 kids, under 5 years old, you're clearly have your hands full. So I hope that my messages aren't getting lost. Is everything okay? Are you in the twins? Is everything all right? How was the move? I know you're moving, something like that. Everything okay? Don't be afraid to call someone out and ask if they're okay. It means that you're following up with them and being genuine I don't feel like that makes people think, oh my gosh, they're just inundating me with messages, annoying me. They would have said no thanks if they didn't want to. They could have just replied no thanks. But, following up with someone like that genuinely, it really does help. It's helped a lot. So, so then of course the follow-up, we all know that there's the follow-up. So you like and you comment and then you follow up. If they say they are interested in something, you talk to them about their goals. We've talked about that before. And then let the conversation go back and forth, just getting to know someone. Again, it's just like the original, haha, I had diarrhea on an airplane. It's just the same story. You're just sharing stories, letting the conversation naturally flow, and you're asking some questions, getting to know them along the way, And so, let the conversation flow, and, don't be afraid to avoid the invite. That's something really big. Like, just don't be afraid to. What do you have to lose? What's interesting about social media too is that inviting is actually really easy on social media, because cyberbullying has become a big thing, because it's easier to send someone a nasty message and call them horrible names, in a message on Facebook, or comment on some of their, you slut, like blah, 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 say something mean and rude on social media than it is to go to someone's face and be like, you're a, piece of crap, blah, blah, blah. It's easier to just send someone a message. And that's the beauty of this. That's all we're doing. We're sending it on Facebook. We don't have someone to get in our face like, how dare you, and yell at you and and could physically hurt you. You know, there's nothing crazy like that. Nothing crazy is going to happen by sending that invite. So don't hesitate, just do it. And, you know, start with the business opportunity, start with that first. You know, an interesting excerpt that I remember from reading Get Over Your Damn Self was, you know, always start with the business opportunity for everyone, because if someone says no to the challenge group because they don't like Shakeology, or they don't like the workouts, or they don't like this or that, if someone says no to that, then bringing up the business opportunity second isn't going to do you any good, because then they're not going to really like the products anyway. So bring up the opportunity first and say, well, hey, if you're already going to love this stuff, because I know you will, because who doesn't, you know, then let's talk about the business opportunity, as opposed to, oh, well, if you don't want to do this challenge group, do you want to at least become a coach and, you know, sell the products? And they'd be like, no, I just told you I don't like the products, so why would I want to be in your challenge group? You know, that would be so silly. So lead with the coaching, and worst comes to worst, someone says, oh dear God, no, I don't have time for that. That sounds overwhelming. I just want to be able to work out for 30 minutes, drink my shake, and that's about all I can handle right now. And you say, okay, I feel you. I was there. You tell a story about how busy you were. And again, you're just constantly connecting, and you say, okay, I get that. All right, then let's do that. I'm going to bring you into my accountability group. I'm going to teach you how to balance your life with your workout, and, you know, reading a little personal development just for you, not for coaching, because they're not interested in that. But I encourage all my challengers to also read personal development. I usually mail them a personal development book as a welcome to my group. And then coaches get a little something different, or a different book. So, you know, I say, okay, that's totally fine. Ooh, sorry, my chair arm just like fell off, and I almost fell. So just, you know, you can always cushion something and say like, hey, I know this is totally random, but I've got this thing going. You were on my mind. So to me, this system really simplified it, and it gave me dates and times. It gave me, like, I'm a nurse. I want a to-do list. I want a list of times of something. You know, I want to check something off. Like, okay, like I have my 5 new people. I have the 5 people from 2 days ago that I talked to that I'm gonna, you know, touch base with and comment on theirs. You know, I like that system. So, and if they stop responding, you know, give it a few days, reach out again. You know, you may not care about this detail, but it excites me, this, you know, this new deal or something that has, you know, exciting has happened, you know? So like, you get a free shirt when you complete a workout program, or I have a fun squat challenge I'm doing with it, and I'm sending out gift cards, or, you know, I'm sending out samples of whatever. Like, I'm sending out gifts to the people who, you know, participate most in my group. Or we have like a weight challenge based on how much weight each person individually has to lose, like, you know, or whatever, like a body percentage, you know, whatever each type of, you know, challenges you do in your groups, you know, let them know that, and just say, you know, does that sound like something that would help motivate you and get you jumped in? You know, I'm going to reserve you a spot. I don't want you to miss out. Want me to still reserve a spot for you? And to me, I like saying, want me to reserve a spot for you. It sounds professional. It makes me feel professional, makes me feel like my groups are super awesome and worth having a reservation for, you know, and that feels good. So that's what, you know, that's the system. And, you know, every 2 days you follow up with the people 2 days before. So I really like that. And it makes it simple for me. I just really wanted to share that system with you guys. And I also wanted to share with you guys a picture. Let me pull it up. 1 minute. Oh, it's not pulling up. Hold on. Why isn't it working? Come on. Okay. Oops. Sorry for the delay, guys. I think my computer is freezing. Can someone unmute themselves? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, you can? Okay. My computer is like acting weird. Why is it doing this? Oh, come on. See if I can get it to work now. Come on. It's like freezing some of the tabs. If you guys have Macs, you'll know my struggle. Okay. I think I have it now. There. I'm going to screen share. Go away all these tabs. Oh my gosh. Share screen. Okay. Here's what I want to show you guys. Can everybody see that? This is a spider web for those that don't know. So as I was riding my horse the other day, I came across these gorgeous, I didn't take a picture. This is just on like Google, but the idea is, you know, I was thinking of these huge webs. So there are these two trees that are, you know, like 10 feet apart. And this spider had built a line from the top of the tree, then a line to the bottom onto the ground. And this huge web, and I'm not kidding you, it was around my arm. It was huge. And then here's this little guy sitting right there in the center of it, totally ready for me to walk into with my horse and make me like burn my body, right? To get this thing off of me. And he's just sitting, chilling in the middle. And I was thinking about that, and I feel like it just hit me that we are like the spiders, you know, without the creepy crawly crap. You know, we don't want to consider the mass amount of stuff we have to do, or the amount of work it takes to build this web. You know, the amount of work that it takes for a spider, a tiny spider, to build this entire huge thing, all to catch a fly every once in a while, or a gnat, or, you know, God forbid, a bee, or a huge butterfly, you know, whatever it is. And all they do is little things every minute, every day, and they just work, and they put their head down and they make these gorgeous webs, these intricate, amazing webs. And it is they are breathtaking. And it's just like this business. It is just like this coaching opportunity. You know, don't look at all the work you have to do to build this web, to build this business. Do something little every single day. Do you think he sat at the bottom of the, at the top of the tree and went, oh my gosh, like I have to drop myself all the way down there and then climb all the way back up that strand and then do this crazy stuff? No, he just did it. He put his head down, or she put its head down and got to work and started doing it, because they said, you know what, I need to eat. And that's something that I've heard a coach say before is, on one of the national wake up calls, she said, you know, every person I invite, that's my next meal. That's my next meal for myself and my son. You know, every single invite I send, I think of it as my next meal, and that's important. That's all the spider is thinking is, I need to eat. I need to have a life. I need to, feed myself and do this. And that's our goal. Like most of the coaches, here, and I know the coaches that are on this call live, their goal is to do this full time. So that's how we're going to eat, And so I don't want you guys to think about the huge web you have to build. I want you to just think about the little steps every day that end up making the web, that end up making this huge, gorgeous business. And the bigger the web and the more you do a little bit each day, then the more flies, the more food you're going to catch, and by putting people through that funnel. So I don't know if that made any sense, but for some reason it hit me the other day on my trail ride. I saw these gorgeous, gorgeous webs, and I had to, talk about that on the call tonight. And I said, you know what? That is such a great example of something so small that created something so big. We are so small individually, and as teams, we create something so big and we create such a huge impact. such a huge impact that Lindsay Matway has made. Collectively, everyone on, in the Bombshell dynasty, thousands upon thousands of pounds have been lost and lives have been improved, and people have come home to take care of their kids from their jobs, and sure, they may or may not have joined if Lindsay hadn't started the Bombshell dynasty, but if she hadn't, how many of these people wouldn't have been caught in this huge web, been swept up in this, So I wanted to just leave you guys with that last thought. I know I talked a little bit fast during the inviting process, but I felt like it had a lot to do with inviting, is just keeping people through the funnel, putting your head down. Don't look at the day-to-day progress, because I bet you if spiders looked at their day-to-day progress, they'd probably just throw themselves off of the trees instead of, guiding themselves down for a purpose. They would be like, okay, screw this, and just go, and although we might be happier with that, I don't like flies. And anyway, so, if you stick to this plan, that's 120 people a month. That's 120 people that you can send out invites to. And just the sheer numbers of that, you're going to make Success Club. You might not, maybe the first month, let's say, but is it worth it trying for a couple of months? And then all of a sudden you hit, as the compound effect likes to call it, Big Mo. All of a sudden you hit Big Mo, and then it's just going. And then the conversations are more, fluid, and, you learn how to reach out better. You learn how to create those conversations with people you don't know, and you learn how to get to know them better. So, be proactive and not reactive. It's towards the end of the month. So my question is the stuff that you're doing right now to make Success Club during the last quarter of the month, was that the same stuff you were doing 3 weeks ago? Or are you just now going, oh shit, like I gotta hurry up and make this happen, And if that's the case, then why bother? Because you're just going to get people that feel rushed. You're going to become inauthentic. You're not going to feel good about your business if you're rushing someone into a challenge pack. I know that's happened to me, and I felt really icky sending some messages to some people. And then the worst part is a few weeks or few months later, I go back and I read those messages, and I go, oh, it's like watching a car wreck. And it's so embarrassing, So, and that doesn't help me at all. So be the spider, and, build your web slowly and consistently, because in a day, these spiders build these huge, gorgeous things. No, this won't be built in a day, but it's a similar concept, because we're building something even bigger than a web. But I really liked that analogy. And I just wanted to show you guys a picture of a mysterious, gorgeous spider web. So I know it was a little bit shorter tonight because I talk fast. It's always shorter when I talk. Anyway, does anybody have any questions or anything they want to say?
Mm-hmm.
No? Okay.
I'm good.
What?
That was good.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.